I'm going to give you 3 ways to calculate how many dollars you need to stop working. You see, it's popular today to say, what's your number? Like, how much money do you need to stop working? And it can be helpful to have that as a target. But there are also some drawbacks to nailing it down to just a number. On the one hand, knowing how much money you need to have saved to stop working is useful. But on the other hand, it can be limiting. It can cause you to work longer than you need to, or it can be inaccurate. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to figure it out. You can decide which way is best for you, and hopefully you'll walk away from this video knowing your number. Hey everyone, I'm Nick Davis, founder of Brindle and Bay Wealth Management, and I'm here to show you how to retire with calmness and clarity. We always love hearing your comments, videos that you want to see, and love it if you would subscribe. So feel free to leave a comment, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button. It helps the channel out, helps other people to see this video. Thanks for that. Okay, so there are 3 ways that you can figure out how much money you need. There's not any one right way. I will say that there's ways that are, maybe a little more accurate. And the one thing they all have in common is that they help you to get a ballpark figure. And I think if you view it from that perspective, you can't go wrong. But I also wouldn't hold it to that. I've had people talk to me and say, I want to have $2 million before I stop working, but they were way more well prepared at $1.6 million to stop working based on their lifestyle. And so don't hold yourself to the number, but if you're still working, having that number in mind is super helpful because it does give you that target to shoot for. So the first of 3 is a multiple of your salary. A multiple of your salary means what's the combined income between you and your spouse, and what's a multiple of that? Let's just go with some generic multiple. So some studies have come out, and of course opinions differ, where you should have 6 to 13 times salary. And I believe that was a study done by T. Rowe Price. Fidelity came out with a study that said you need to have 6 times salary by the time you're 50 and 10 times salary by the time you're 67. And I find this method to be kind of vague. So in one example, a family with $75,000 in total income could need anywhere from $450,000 to $600,000 to be that magic number, whereas a family that's higher income, maybe $150,000, needs 10 times their income to be able to retire. So they need $1.5 million. And the reason for this huge difference has to do a lot with Social Security. You see, Social Security covers a greater percentage of a person's needs when they're more moderate to lower income than if you're higher income. So higher income people have a lower percentage of their needs met through Social Security, which means they need a higher multiple saved. Again, it's not my favorite, yet many people can use this because it's a very simple way to get that ballpark estimate. Now, the next way to do it is called the rule of 25. Many articles have been written about the rule of 25 and say you need 25 times your income. For this rule, take the amount that you need to come out of your investments every year to supplement your income and multiply that times 25. For example, if you want to spend $80,000 a year and $50,000 a year is coming from Social Security, well then $30,000 a year is what you're going to pull from your investments, and you would take that $30,000 and multiply it times 25. So in that example, you'd need $750,000. If you needed $50,000 a year, well, then you'd need $1.25 million saved up. That would be the magic number. Now, the reason for using 25 is based on the safe withdrawal rule of 4%. So in the 90s, a study was done asking the question, how much of a percentage can I take out of my total savings every year without the fear of running out in 20 or 30 years? The answer came back 4%. It's an okay number to use. It's easy. Be careful because the studies were also based on your asset allocation. So depending upon how your assets were allocated, you may be able to take out less than 4% or more than 4%. So don't take that as gospel and go and do that for yourself. But it is a number that gets you in the ballpark. I like the idea of the simplicity. I like that it gets you close. However, there are some drawbacks, and I cover the drawbacks after I talk about this third way of calculating that special number. And that third way is just a percentage of income. And this is a very common thing to hear people say. They may say, well, I want to retire on 70 or 80% of my salary. So if you were making $100,000, then you would be replacing $70,000 to $80,000 a year. So if you're targeting $70,000 or $80,000 a year, and Social Security here again is taking care of $50,000 in this example, then you'd be trying to make up a difference of $20,000 to $30,000 a year. That means you'd need about $500,000 to $750,000 saved up to be able to meet that need. Again, these are all quick, easy ways to get the ballpark number, but what could go wrong? What are the drawbacks of relying only upon this number? So one big thing that's missing is human beings don't like to spend money like this when you retire. We tend to spend more money when we're younger and less money in the middle and more money towards the end. So sticking to a static number, it doesn't work with a lot of people's lifestyles. So that's kind of a drawback, and that's probably, it's a great idea in theory, but does it work in reality? It works for some people. It's a great thing to target and to come back to and maybe make some adjustments along the way. Now, a better way might be to take your current household income, back out debts that you'll have paid off when you stop working, separate vacations, fun spending, and healthcare in different categories so that you enjoy spending money more, knowing that you can always pull some levers back if you need to and take a different approach to it, but that's for a different video. So what else is missing from this idea of the magic number? Well, the question of how much money I'm going to need is going to change over time. You know, retirement planning requires you to constantly come back and change the goalpost and make adjustments over time. So just sticking with a very, very simplistic thing for the rest of your life is not very typical. It's not the way human beings live. It makes great sense for textbooks. It makes great sense for setting targets and calculating where you want to go. However, we have to be flexible. We have to know many times throughout retirement, we're going to have to come back and adjust our goalpost because the future is never what we anticipate. Our assumptions are going to not come to pass exactly right. Some are going to be right, some are going to be wrong. And so updates and adjustments are going to be necessary. I get it. We want a static number. That static number is super helpful to target. But as long as we're flexible, I believe we should do both. We should have that static number that we're shooting for, but we should also be open-minded that maybe if I plan on working part-time for the first few years of retirement, I don't need such a big number because my plan works out just fine with reducing the stress at work and working part-time for a while. It's another reason why the target number doesn't always mean that's exactly what you have to do to be able to stop working. Well, now that you know how to figure out what your static number is, you need to make sure you're saving enough money in your retirement accounts. That means your 401k, your IRA, your other investment accounts. How many dollars does it take for you to equal that number in the future? This is a very practical way to get the rubber to hit the road. Now, if you don't know how to figure out how many dollars you need, or if you have enough dollars, I made another video to show you exactly how to calculate the amount of dollars that you need to be saving for the day you stop working. Check out that video. I'll link it right here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see the way that we help people to create calmness and clarity for their next chapter of life, take a look at us at brindleandbay.com. Again, thanks for watching the videos. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time a new video comes out.